For our first paper this evening, we have a presentation titled The Naked Truth, What Genesis 1 through 3 Tells Us About Gender Roles. Please welcome Kathryn Brooks.
Check. Okay. A woman in her 20s walks down the street, remembering herself as a little girl, begging her mother to look at a beautiful lace dress in the bridal shop, which she wanted to wear when she grew up. She considers whether the man she loves now will make her current dreams a reality. Every man she thinks is her Prince Charming, she decides he's not. She wants a companion. She's successful and strong. She can take care of herself. Every man she thinks will validate her tries to change her. Love keeps failing her, and she begins to feel empty. People want to be completely independent as soon as possible. People want to be monetarily independent. People even want to be independent in marriage, together but separate. People run from the marriage the Bible puts before us, but this is producing an empty, lonely society. Our existence reflects solitude, separated from all other creation. When Adam was naming the animals, he realized there was no helper fit for him. No other being was created in God's image. But this solitude was not supposed to continue. For God says it is not good that man should be alone. So, in one of the greatest love stories in history, the woman is created perfectly to complement the man. So perfectly, in fact, Adam's first words when he sees Eve are, "At last." Genesis 1 through 3 shows us that men and women have specific roles essential to each sex, despite the interpretation that these roles are accidental. When Adam was first created, his purpose was to shamar, or protect the garden and all that was in it. He was also commanded to not eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil as a way to protect life, for if he ate of it, he would surely die. Then Eve was created as an ezer, or helper, and together they become one flesh, something whole, something complete. Many Christians say this does not mean that shamar is essential to masculinity and ezer essential to femininity. However, the fall seems to say otherwise. While talking to the serpent, Eve decides it is in her best interest and Adam's to take of the fruit. Adam, who was with her and was specifically given the instruction to not eat of the fruit before Eve was even created, does not do his duty to protect Eve. So, if evil is the perversion of good, Adam and Eve both turn from their integral natures, that is, Adam as protector and Eve as helpmate. The pain of women in childbirth and in marriage caused them to turn from the beauty in nurturing life and being a helpmate in marriage. The pain of men in protecting their families and the garden they are placed in, or their calling, caused them to turn from the good in the duties God gave them. Egalitarians, that is, people who do not believe in differing roles between men and women, believe that Genesis 3 was the birthplace of patriarchy, which can be seen in its full form in the Abrahamic covenant. Because men were given the physical symbol of the covenant through circumcision. However, just as men are given a physical symbol of the covenant, women are given a physical symbol of the covenant through childbirth. For God says to Abraham about Sarah, "I will bless her, and moreover, I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she shall become nations. Kings of peoples shall come from her." However, it is true that women had to be married to or the daughter of a circumcised man to be completely a part of the covenant. Egalitarians further believe that Jesus put an end to patriarchy. They appeal to Galatians 3:28, which says, "There is no male or female, for we are all one through Christ Jesus." This verse is about equality, no doubt. However, many misinterpret it by thinking it is about the relationship between male and female rather than our relationship to God. Paul points us to Christ, who has now fulfilled the law. anyone can now be a part of the Abrahamic covenant. We can join God's people through baptism, regardless of our life circumstances. This verse has everything to do with the new covenant, but nothing to do with roles. Jesus did not abolish roles because these roles are essential to men and to women. Fast forward another 10 years. The woman is now 30. She is inside the same bridal shop trying on dresses for her coming wedding day. She looks to her mother in the mirror and asks, "How do I know he won't try to change me?" Her mother says, "We live in a world that celebrates independence, but no one was made to be independent. We were made to glorify God and enjoy him forever. Be selflessly your husband's. Be his complement. Or else you'll end up feeling empty because you won't find the wholeness in marriage that God intended." Thank you.